Hey everybody, Luke Wilson here with another early off-season outlook for you. This time it's Rashad Bateman. Yes, and I can already hear the guys in the Fantasy Index Discord grumbling at the title of this video. They are definitely sick of hearing me talk about him. And hey, I don't blame you at all. Bust for the second year in a row. This time he can't even blame it on injury. He plays 17 games. In those 17 games, he goes for a measly 32 receptions. He does not top 3 receptions or 40 yards receiving until week 17 when he goes for a still measly 4 receptions, 54 yards. So what gives? Why are we still talking about him? Why is he one of our first off-season outlook videos for 2024? Because since the Ravens lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game a few weeks ago, Rashad Bateman is just about all that John Harbaugh seems to be able to talk about. First day of the scouting combine, when asked about the Ravens' plans on offense in 2024, first thing out of Harbaugh's mouth is that Rashad Bateman's going to take a big step forward. The ball is going to be getting to him a lot more in 2024. So he comes out and he triples down on other comments that he's already been making all February about Rashad Bateman. Now, I will admit, it is easy to look at Bateman's first 3 seasons and say that he's a bust because he hasn't produced. But for a player like Bateman, who had a strong profile coming out of college, was a first-round pick, has some really interesting intangibles, the why he hasn't produced, I think, is really worth examining. And I really don't think it's hard to at least partially acquit Bateman here. Hamstring injury costs him the first 5 games of an otherwise promising, encouraging rookie season in 2021, and then he gets off to a fairly strong start in 2022. Through 5 games, he's on pace for like 970 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns before the Liz Frank injury puts him on the shelf for the rest of his 2022. Now, yes, the elephant in the room, Bateman absolutely vanishes in 2023, right? But in my opinion, the very unexpected Odell Beckham Jr. signing, shortly after the Ravens finally came to terms with Lamar after the protracted dispute over his contract over the summer of 2023, the timing of it and just the tenor of it, it really felt like sort of an olive branch between the Ravens front office and Lamar's camp to help them move on from the unpleasantness of that protracted dispute and holdout. So you already have that, and then yes, unfortunately, Bateman does wind up aggravating that same foot that cost him most of 2022 in the preseason in August of 2023. So with OBJ in town, Bateman falling behind him and Flowers, with new offensive coordinator Todd Monken in town, it really feels like there was kind of a perfect storm of factors around Bateman in 2023 that made the Ravens say, you know what, we have Odell Beckham for this season, and it seems to be making Lamar happy to have him featured in this offense and for Lamar to feel like he has a say in the players that we bring in. Let's go ahead and keep Lamar happy, and in the process, have Bateman play a seriously reduced complement of snaps in 2023. So the fact that Harbaugh comes out as soon as the Ravens season is over, guns blazing for Bateman, to me, that comes off as partially a mea culpa. You know, him, the Ravens coaching staff, they went, they powwowed, they ate the tape, they saw things that they really liked in Bateman, and they feel like they should have better utilized him more in 2023. And also partially Harbaugh speaking, maybe to the Ravens front office through the media, saying, hey, we're at the combine. I don't think we need receivers, okay? I don't think you need to bring back OBJ. I don't think you should use our first rounder on a receiver. I like what I'm seeing in Bateman. Now, if you just can't bring yourself to go back to the well on Rashad Bateman, I absolutely get it, okay? I understand. But I will point out that the risk-reward ratio on Bateman right now, I feel, is pretty fantastic. Bateman is running outside the top 70 wide receivers in dynasty leagues in terms of the capital it's going to take to go get him in a trade. So you can get Bateman very, very cheaply. I have traded for Bateman a couple times myself in just the last couple of weeks. In one league, I went and got him for Isaiah Spiller, okay? In another league, I got him for Zach Wilson. So you get my point. He's basically in free to good home out on the curb in front of your house right now in Dynasty Leagues. So what this really means is that the risk associated with trading for Bateman right now is very nearly zero. You cannot lose trading for Bateman at these prices, okay? If Harbaugh is right, / not lying to us, you're almost automatically going to win, assuming, of course, that Bateman manages to stay healthy, which he did. He did in 2023. And then yes, if Harbaugh is lying through his teeth, or he's just flat out wrong, he's mispredicting the future, then yes, you might lose Isaiah Spiller. Is that a Greek tragedy for your dynasty roster? That's for you to decide. For me, I'm not sweating it. But I will say I do strongly suspect that Bateman at these prices in dynasty leagues will not last, okay? I'm surprised that we haven't seen Bateman's market start to tick up already with all of the positive comments from Harbaugh over the last several weeks on him. That is going to change here soon, okay? Of that I'm quite sure. So if you are at all squeamish about your dynasty team's depth, quality of depth at wide receiver, and you feel like you could use another quality wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3 type candidate on your roster right now, Bateman is the poster child for guys to go lob cheap clearance price trade offers at. And I would even go so far as to say that he is poised to have sleeper status in redraft leagues this summer. They're going to hate me in the Discord, but the early offseason outlook for Rashad Bateman, he's a buy.